Everyone, good evening. So, my name is Asawari, and I went to conventional school up till the standard of fifth. So, in the middle, I went to a regular school, like most of us in the regular go to a regular school. So, in the middle of fifth, like when I was in school, my parents felt like this kind of education was not what they wanted to give me, and so they decided to take me out of school. And at that time I was just 10 years or something, and so I did not completely understand what was happening, but it was a mutual decision. They did take my consent when they took me out of school, and I was given the assurance that if I ever felt like going back, that option was always available for me. And so I started homeschooling and my journey of learning then, I think it took a few years for me to start shifting from subject based learning to interest based learning. So initially, even though I had left school, I think I didn't know what am I supposed to learn. And so I still took the support of textbooks to get the subjects. Like I remember I had the NCRT textbooks. So I used to use the textbooks to get subjects so that I know, okay, this is a topic I should explore. And then that helped me to, and then slowly I started moving away from the textbooks and started finding topics just by my own curiosity. So like one day I remember I got curious about atoms, and then I saw a lot of videos to understand what atoms are. Or I had also we also traveled a lot, not a lot, but yes, we did go on some family trips. And like one of the family trips that we did was that we decided to trace the Ganges or the Ganga river from its source to its end. So we went to Himalayas and saw the source, so Rishikesh and the Sangam of Ganga and Yamuna. And then we went to the sea where it meets in Sundarbans. And so and then I kind of documented that whole journey. And that was like a different learning experience. And then we also met a lot of homeschooling other families who were doing homeschooling and spent time with them. And so, and then in Bangalore, we used to live in Bangalore at that time. And in Bangalore also, I remembered going to a lot of places and getting a lot of exposure. So as I would go to these different places, meet different people, meet different children, I would get curious or interested in different topics and different subjects. And then I think I soon realized I don't need the textbooks to tell me what I should be learning, because everything was around me, and all these things that I wanted to learn or what I was curious about started to appear around me. And then I started to get more interested in art and more interested in dance. Because maybe that was also an exposure that was very prevalent around me. And then I wanted to go to art and dance classes, and I wanted to pursue it seriously. So I also did that for some time. I did a lot of focused. I spent some time very focused on learning art and dance. And as I was learning it, I'm not sure about the exact timeline, but I spent some time on it. And I realized that I like it. I really do. I still love art and dance, but it was maybe something that I was too early fixing for myself that I want to become an artist, I want to become a dancer. It felt too early. I was just maybe 13, 14 years, and I still felt like I was not ready to fix what I want to do at that time. That was just my journey for me. And so I said, okay, no, I want to just explore more. I just want to continue to hold on to these small curiosities or small interests that I have, continue to build on that, and then find that space where I will say, yes, this is what I really want to deep dive in. And so, and also, of course, I am daughter of Aditi and Ratnesh. So they started Aarohi around after 6 months of homeschooling me and my younger brother. They started Aarohi. So I was part of Aarohi. So that also gave me a lot of different experiences and different exposures. And when the Aarohi campus shifted from the city of Bangalore to a nearby village, where right now our campus is in Kelamangalam. So that whole process of shifting just as a fun, not just as a family, but as a campus, and then coming here to this 5 acre land and building this whole campus from scratch. Um, we were a group of children who were part of Aarohi at that time, and we were kind of completely involved in that process. So that was also like there were so many things new over here. Like living in a village was a very different experience, and being part of the construction of this whole place. Like I remember we did the survey of the campus. So it's a 5 acre land. So we had to like label or like mark where is our boundary. And I think we did it once, and then it was like then somebody the surveyor came and there was a mistake, and so then we did it the second time, and then we did it the third time. I think we did it like 3 or 4 times, and every time there were some mistakes. And but it was so fun for me because we used different techniques. Okay, how do we want to measure the distance? How do we want to make sure that we are doing what we're doing with precision and these kind of things? And so I think that experience of being here as part of building the campus is also something that gave me a lot of exposure and a lot of and I got interested in some ways in just this being in the space and being in nature. That kind of helped me connect. I mean, I got really connected with this whole space. And also like I also started taking up small projects. So as I was just exploring my interests, so I was exploring writing and I was exploring art and exploring dance. I also decided that I wanted to start taking up small projects that will help me to kind of um like brings quantify the exploration of my interests. So one of the first projects that I took was that I wrote a small novelette or a small story. And I actually like, because I felt I was interested in writing at that time, I wrote a story, a short story, or kind of a mini novel. And I actually like really edited it and printed it in a small way. And I found a mentor who was a author, she's still a children's book author. And that was also very interesting to find a mentor and actually get her guidance and learn from her as to how I can edit and how I can write my book. So that was like, that whole project was an end-to-end learning experience for me, where I could really deep dive into my interest of writing. And then another project that I took when we were building the campus here was we wanted to build I wanted to build a cafe. So I like baking, I like cooking. That's one of my other interests. So I wanted to like I had this kind of dream that I wanted to run a cafe. But then somehow that cafe project got converted into building a community kitchen for the campus. So initially we had like a really small kitchen, but we wanted to build like a community kitchen. So that cafe project got converted into, okay, let's build a community kitchen first, and then we'll start cooking and baking, and maybe that will become our cafe. And so one of the constraints we have here at campus is that every building we make, we want to try a different architectural or a different construction method. And so we found a mentor who would help us in the construction technique called earthback construction. So this project I did with another child. So both of us together, we did this project where we learned the new technique of construction, which is called earthback construction, which is a eco-friendly or a sustainable technique of architecture. So we learned that from him, how to do it. We took his guidance and we designed the building. And then we on site, we got the laborers, we got the materials, we trained the laborers into the new construction technique, and we did the whole project. And the reason this project is very precious to me, I think, is because it's one of the biggest failures of my life, and one of like but yet it's like such a big learning experience because I learned so much from it. So when we were building the building, we reached up till the roof level. So next day we were going to put the roof. We were very excited and was like, okay, next day morning we will start with the roofing. And that night there was a big storm, and there was some mistake in the design of the building, due to which it did not withstand the storm. And the next day all the walls had fallen. So when we woke up in the morning, all the walls were fallen. It was completely destroyed, the whole thing, and we had to start back from scratch. When we started back from scratch, I took more help because I felt like I needed more help to make the building. But so it was a huge failure but it was a big learning experience. And I think one of the biggest things I learned was that I learned a complete new language through this whole project. So the laborers that came, they knew only Kannada or Tamil, and I did not know any of those languages, even though I studied the subject of Kannada in school till fifth. It was a compulsory subject, but at school, one of the subjects that I hated was Kannada, and I never grasped it at school. It was really difficult for me to even pass the exams, but somehow I used to do it because I had a visual memory, so it was easy for me to visually remember the letters and just put it on the exam sheet and not remember like later on what I wrote or what I understood. There was no sense of that. So I did not know Kannada, and living in Bangalore, which is a very multicultural city, I did not need to learn Kannada. But after here, when coming and I'm working with the local people, I'm working with the laborers, I'm working with the people who come here to cook for us or clean for us. And naturally the language came, and I learned Kannada just by just doing the project. I didn't even make any extra effort to learn it, but just by interacting and working with the laborers, I learned a whole new language. So that was like, there were so many learnings that happened in that project. But yeah, it was not like in the end of it, I wanted to become an architect, or I am interested in architecture in any which way, but that it was just a project that I did. And so I think this is the way I explored two different kind of what do you say, interests. And when I was around 14, I also decided that I do not want to take up 10th standard. So I decided I felt like I'm not ready to to go for the degree, because I don't know what I want to do in life. So how can I take an exam for that? And I felt like it was a waste of time. I would rather focus on continuing to explore my interests. So I chose not to go for degree, not to take my 10th, 12th, or go to college. So right now, and just continue to explore my interests. And what one of the ways that I did it was I joined Swaraj, which is a university in Udaipur. They do not have this program anymore, but before COVID, they had a 2-year program where it was for youth specifically, where youth come and be part of the 2-year program and explore their interest and find what they're passionate about and make their passion their profession. It's a course where you do not need a degree and you do not get a degree in the end. So I was part of that program for 2 years. And one of the great things for me was I traveled apart from traveling with my family, I started traveling alone. I got a whole new exposure. I met a lot of people. I made friends, a lot of friends. I found community in that space. And I got connected to environmental sustainability over there. So I think my connection with nature, which happened here while living the village, that kind of expanded into being passionate about environmental sustainability. And so I understood that my passion is environmental sustainability. I want to do something in which my work connects with nature, my works connect with the earth, it takes care of the earth. That was what I understood. But immediately I did not understand how that would manifest as to what am I supposed to do. So initially I started by taking workshops for children and adults, but that did not work for me. I felt like it became too preachy, and it did not make complete sense to do those things. So after that, it slowly evolved into a business. So right now I run a business called Dhanak, where I make natural body care products, which are like, I make soaps, I make bath powders, lip balms, body butters, lots of products and I sell them. And I also, my objective of this business is to spread the possibility in the world that we can use natural products. We can use products that are good for us and good for the planet. And through this business, I want to talk about natural living or living in harmony with nature. I do that through this business. And that's how I think I found that kind of interest formed into passion and formed into also right now what I'm doing deeply. And I did not know anything about business when I started, but it like I still don't know. I think I'm like still learning everything. It's like every day is a journey. It's been huge learning thing every day, just learning how to market your products, how to do costing, everything. I mean, like every aspect of running a business, there's so many aspects, and I'm still learning lots of things and still growing every day and continuing to deepen my interest of environmental sustainability, and now also a part of it, my interest of business. And another thing for me that is very important is that even though right now I'm doing a business and maybe professionally I'm engaged in something, I don't forget what else I'm interested in. So right now, one of the other things I'm interested in is spirituality. And so even though I have these things, I want to continue to explore my other interests, which is right now at the moment, apart from this spirituality. So I'm also focusing on that by giving myself time in the day, in the year, to kind of dive deep into spirituality as well. So I think I've always let interest drive me, not degrees, not any not conventional method. I'm not talking about just conventional, but usually I've let what I'm interested in today drive me. So just because I'm running a business today doesn't mean I would be running tomorrow. Maybe next time you meet me, I would be doing something completely different. So for me, my main objective is, okay, today what I'm interested in, let's do that. Let's focus on what I like to do and what makes me happy. I think, yeah, that's about it. Thank you.